What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Bear Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. Got a little special show for you tonight. It's going to be a quicker show, but it's going to be a great show. I can guarantee it. We got my guy Big Z from True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast coming in and talking Bears, so it should be a great show. Saipan guy, what's up? I am in the house. And I'm pumped, and you guys should be pumped too. Look, can we all just let's all just breathe right now. Let's all just kind of woosah this down, relax. We've all said what we needed to say. We were all hyped about what happened. Now let's focus on what's the task at hand and what's ahead for the Chicago Bears. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. So, in the aftermath of the Justin Fields trade, the consensus seems to be that Caleb Williams will be the number one pick. Obviously, there will be some outlanders, with Drake Mays. You'll have the Drake May fans suddenly. You'll have the Jaden Daniels fans suddenly appear. And I just, whatever your opinion is, I just feel like the Chicago Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams number one. They've set him up to have immediate success with the way that the offense is shaping up. The offensive line has been, pretty much rebuilt in Ryan Poles' image. You got the defense continuing to add. You add veteran leadership in Kevin Byard. You add more veteran leadership and depth in Gerald Everett. Obviously, Keenan Allen was the big splash of free agency so far and of the offseason really so far. But I'm, with everything, with all that insulation, getting a guy like Caleb Williams, that type of help just makes me feel like the Chicago Bears know exactly how they're going to bring this kid up and exactly how they want him to be groomed. And I feel like going after a guy like Shane Waldron, who's worked with Caleb Williams, that was your first sign. Then you go ahead and you start, obviously with the rumors about Justin, you finally get Justin out of here. You land Keenan Allen. That was huge. Now, some speculated that landing Keenan Allen meant that you were going to keep Justin Fields and you got him all the help that you needed, and that's just wasn't the case, right? Justin gets traded, and now we start to see more clearly now what the Chicago Bears should look like in 2024 and what Ryan Poles envisions the Chicago Bears to be in 2024 and beyond. What's up, Doug? How are you? Yeah, Taz, what's up? Was this new narratives being created by Justin Fields fans? Saw some clown on X trying to get a petition started to get Justin Fields back on the team. Oh my gosh, yes, I saw that. Shane and Phil were sharing that with me in our group chat, and I just the amount of emotional people that are out there, right? And I won't just single out the dudes. There are some, female fans out there that are all hurt that Justin is leaving. But some of the tweets and some of the messages, they sound like obituaries. It sounds like Justin Fields has passed on to another life, and it's like, dude, he just got traded. Like he's in the place that him and his team wanted. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and just allow it to settle in. Allow it to settle in. Please don't write any more love poems to Justin Fields online. It's getting a little bit embarrassing. I understand you like the guy, but dude, it's a little too far. He's still among us. He's still amongst the living. Looks like we lost our guy Jose for a second. Hopefully he'll pop back on. Sometimes the internet gets a little wacky. They don't know anything. They played themselves thinking they were going to fleece the market, and it backfired. 5 wins tops, dude. I don't think so. I don't think they were. I don't think they got fleeced, right? I think that obviously you're correct that they overplayed their hand. But at this point, I don't think they got fleeced at all for Justin Fields. I don't see anybody offering a 2. I don't think, I know they said there was 4 teams. If anybody's mentioning a 2, I doubt that's the case. But now that you say, there's a rumor that there's 4 teams that we're trying to go after Justin. They, worked with Justin and his agent, got him to the place that they wanted. I could see a 4, maybe pushing a 3. A 3, I think, would be too high, but a 4, yeah, a 4 and maybe a pick next season. I don't see 5 wins though, Kevo. It's a little too soon for me to be guessing wins. But if we weren't making moves, if we weren't getting better at certain places, I might agree with you. But 7-10, or 7 and what was it, 11, with the struggles that we had last season, you see the defense getting better. You continue to add. Montez Sweat helped a lot. Kevin Byard will help a young secondary. Re-signing Jalen Johnson was huge. You're probably going to go after a defensive end here in the draft. I still feel like they'll trade back at 9. How far? That's yet to be seen. But I feel like they will try to trade back at 9. Stay in the, stay close to the middle teens if there's a suitor. But I think they're going to go right after one of these young defensive ends. And if 4 quarterbacks go, and then you get some of the playmakers taken, say Joe Alt goes as well within the top 7. Well, then you could have some wiggle room. Because not everybody's going to go after these pass rushers. Maybe somebody wants, one of these receivers that has fallen. You could do that. Get yourself a defensive end at the spot you want. Recoup some draft picks. That could be the way. All right, we got Big Z back. All right, let's go ahead and bring him out so I don't bore you guys with all this information. My guy from the True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast, Big Z. What's up, brother? How you been?
What's up, brother, man? Comments are pouring in already. This is a hot show from the beginning. I cannot believe it. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure. You've always been a great, gracious host and friend. And you know what? Bears Nation is split down the middle. We have the Justin believers. I don't want to call them something derogatory. They're Justin believers. And then, we got the hopeful and more realistic people who are understanding what Ryan Poles is doing by going with a younger quarterback and setting that quarterback up to succeed rather than the last Ryan who set up our quarterback in Justin Fields to fail. People are saying, well, he never had a chance. He had plenty of chances to recoup what he could have been. And he could have been, is compared to Lamar Jackson, and he has the same skills. And some people pull stats and, in the last 3 years, they had similar stats. I'm like, yeah, but if you look at Lamar Jackson's roster versus the Bears roster, it was not equivalent. So I'm excited what the Bears are doing. I literally have the month of March in front of me of all the moves, and there's a lot of text on this screen right here. and
Mhm.
I'm excited to get into it, brother.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you on. It was definitely a wild weekend. Uh, from the jump, like, okay, so what's been the word on the street, right? What have you been hearing from your fans, from the, obviously with the Facebook page that's got everybody commenting almost on every single. It's like people are so hyped about what's going on with the Chicago Bears right now. It's like baseball is a secondary thought, and we got like a couple weeks to opening day, and it
Yeah,
still feels like we're in the middle of the season with the
yeah.
with football. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
sure
like,
feels like it
what
sure
is the
feels
word?
Yeah, it sure feels like late August, early September. We're hyped for football. Where our baseball teams are in a trash can, and we're like, all right, we're ready for football. Man, I don't think we've come off the high of what we knew what was going to happen. We knew we were going to have the number one pick. We knew we had a second first round pick, and the excitement has been great. Even on our show, we have like it's split down the middle. Like, oh, we got to give Justin another chance. He's a good player. He's a really good quarterback, and I'm like, okay, if you look at the film, just like your show does, where they break down the film, the kid has a hitch in his throw that they said they were going to fix last offseason.
Hmm.
Through the mini camp, through training camp, they're saying we're going to fix his hitch. They didn't fix any hitch. That kid could have worked for you, Hawk, because he was hitching a bad offense up and down that field. That's what he was doing. So it was bad because his motion is so long. And considering that you didn't have an offensive line like Lamar Jackson did, okay, that means you got to get rid of the ball faster. We saw that with Bajent when he came in, like a microwave and said, all right, 1-2, I'm throwing the ball. 1-2, who was open? I'm throwing the ball. Whoever's open, I'm throwing the ball. And when you saw Justin there, you saw him missing receiver after receiver after receiver. And you didn't have that confidence in him. And I
Hmm.
think he did a lot of thinking and instead of a lot of reacting. And yes, the offensive line did not help him in anything, anything offensively because that we had a center who was hot garbage. I think anybody in Chicago, we can pick anybody from Chicago that's 300 pounds to hike the ball, it would have been the same exact result because it was at his feet, it was over his shoulder, he didn't have time to set up. Yes, but we knew what Ryan Poles was doing. He let us know we're going to tear down all these high expensive contracts and we're going to get a lot of draft picks and a lot of compensation for them. And we're going to rebuild this. And he started with the defense and he said, all right, on offense, we're going to go it slowly. And then you got a haul when we get the first round pick last year.
Hmm.
We got a haul. No one's gonna give us that haul again. I really don't think we're gonna get that haul again where we get, was it 4 picks and DJ Moore?
Yeah, it's working out these deals will be harder than it seems, right? But my thing is like if you have all these teams, and it always seems like this offseason, it just seems like every other team scenario that lands Caleb Williams is the best fucking scenario for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like every other team, like nobody else is like saying, oh, if Caleb goes to the Patriots, he's gonna be, dog shit. If Caleb goes to the, whoever, he's gonna be trash. It's the Bears because, and with some credit, because like we haven't had the best track record. But if you look at the moves that Ryan Poles has made, the insulation that he's protecting the kid with,
Yes.
leadership at the wide receiver position, both sides,
Yep.
leadership at the tight end position, both
Yep.
of them. Both of them are veterans now. Cole Kmet has been around in the league for a while. And last season he had a very good season. You have veteran positions or veteran players filling in the holes on the offensive line. You got a veteran safety backing up with a young secondary. These are all things for the Bears to win now, but all veterans that are going to protect Caleb Williams and it pretty much allow him to learn and grow from professionals who've been there and done that, instead of throwing him to the wolves and saying, "Hey, you win the games." Because that's pretty much what Caleb was trying to do last season at USC. USC had turnover after that Heisman Trophy winning season. Players weren't as good as the players before. He still was putting up numbers. I mean, you're still, going, toe to toe with some of these teams, but your defense is giving up 50 points. There's a reason why the defensive coordinator was fired. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? There's a reason why he got fired. So you have this kid who's been ridiculed for, some things may have some truth in it, but I think a lot of it is just made up bullshit. And for me, it's Caleb or bust. Like I don't see any way around it. Caleb or bust. I I particularly think that Justin Fields did get the shit end of the stick, right? You have, I mean, it is what it is. Like he wasn't good enough. It's the shit end of the stick, but now you have the situation that you wanted in Pittsburgh. You wanted that situation. You got that situation. Okay, now you could figure it out from there. But the situation that Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy put him in
Yes.
was desperate,
Hmm.
foolish, and look what it's done to his career. Right? Look at it. We weren't ready to win. You were out the door. We were getting ready to tear this down. Ryan Poles even gave him an opportunity. I feel like he gave him opportunities. It sucked that first year, obviously.
Hmm.
We all gave him the benefit of the doubt, but that next season, you know, we were expecting a little bit more than what we got.
You had a good running back room with Deontay Foreman and Roshan and the rest of the and I forgot the other quarterback running back, but you got the you got DJ Moore on one side, and you had Darnell Mooney, who the season prior almost hit 1,000 yards, if I remember correctly. And this season, you didn't throw to this guy at all, and he was wide open. If you look at the film, he was wide open so much. Like if you're doubling DJ Moore, he's going to be open. You had a safety valve in Cole Kmet, a great safety valve. He's right there in the middle. Boom, drop it off to him. Let him get the hard yards. And I think that Justin put so much on himself that it really hindered him because he was thinking too much. Like, like I agree with you. He was in a crappy situation that prior year. This past year, you've got weapons. You've got weapons. We put up some points on some teams. We came back and we also blew some leads. But you're supposed to be the leader that's supposed to elevate everybody around you. You've got some veterans. You can trust DJ Moore, right? You can throw it up to him. That's great. But also learn how to throw guys open. And that's what he wasn't doing. He was not throwing guys open. He was waiting for a window. And in the NFL, if you're waiting for that window, that's when the safety and the cornerback are jumping on that route because you're already thinking, okay, I got a window. That's what I'm going to throw. They jump on it, interception, pick six, whatever you want to call it. And that's what was going on with Justin. Again, the play calling didn't help either, right? That's why he's not here. And he's over there in what is it? Nevada, in Las Vegas. So you have a lot of things that did hinder him, but he had enough to overcome. And what did we have? 7 wins. Easily could have been 10 wins. You could have been in the playoffs. So some of those games, you shot yourself in the foot.
Two of those wins are Tyson Bagents. So we're really talking about 5 wins for Justin
5
Fields
wins.
last year.
5 wins. Yeah, 5 wins. And you're consistently hurt because
Well,
you're putting
I want
yourself in situations.
yeah,
Go ahead.
now, Kevin, I don't think we're contradicting. I think it's just it was what Ryan Poles saw. It's what the league dictated, barring the rumors of that there was multiple people and what those draft pick compensations were, like what the offers were with them. But right now, even Pittsburgh, who wanted him, wasn't going to give you anything higher than a 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that Ryan Poles saw enough from Justin Fields to say, hey, we're going to go ahead and take the young guy because we have a situation where we're able to take the best prospect available at the quarterback position. Situation where the Bears have never been before.
Correct.
And that's the decision Ryan Poles is going with. Is it, like I said, is it all Justin's fault? No, it's not all Justin's fault. No. It's not all Justin's fault. But with the amount of time that he's been on the team, with them being there week in and week out in the locker room, I'm sure they've watched the games, they've seen the videotapes. I'm sure they've done all their due diligence. Ryan Poles decided, hey, it's time to move forward and move on from Justin Fields. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you with those factors, but you're looking at also resetting the clock at quarterback while your defense is going to be in its prime, and then you add offensive weapons. So if you look at early Russell Wilson, right, in Seattle, that defense, Legion of Boom, that was that defense that was set up. He came in as a rookie quarterback, and then they started adding on offense. Patrick Mahomes had to sit out and waited for everything to come together. Like successful teams will build around and then build around that quarterback. So they build out the team first and then put that rookie quarterback, that first year quarterback after he sat down. Jordan Love is, and I not to reference the Packers because we hate them, but you look at what he's done there. He's got no receivers and he threw for over 4,000 yards. Why couldn't Justin do that with one of the top 10 receivers?
Justin should have been able to be like. I felt like Justin should have been able to manipulate the pocket a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, he has all the athleticism in the world, can throw on the run, can escape the pocket, but there just wasn't enough passing the ball for me to say, hey, you know what, this guy's going to be it next season. I could trust him throwing across the middle to Keenan Allen. I could trust him getting the ball to DJ Moore, or I could trust him spreading the ball around to multiple receivers. It's a tough situation. Like I said, Justin Fields is. I don't hate Justin Fields as a human being. I don't think he,
No.
is the antichrist or something. Like some people are just take it a little far, but he wasn't good enough for the Chicago Bears to continue to keep and hope and pray that they develop him. They'd rather go ahead and have a situation where you have a relationship between your offensive coordinator and the potential number one draft pick that you're about to select with Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams. You have these playmakers now on the Chicago Bears. You're ready to protect them, and you're ready to let him grow in his own offense. Right? It's going to be different from Mahomes. I feel like it's going to be different from Mahomes, but I feel like Caleb Williams can at least get you 7 to 8 wins next season, maybe even contend for the playoffs with how they're building the team, around him. But I think Caleb Williams, with the insulation with leadership and the playmakers that they put around him, I think can have a successful first season in the NFL.
Yeah, and I really think that, barring any injuries and, knock on wood that we don't have any injuries on defense, I really think that defense can get you 5 to 6 wins on its own just by shutting down offenses. So if Caleb can give you another 4 wins, another 5 wins, we're back in the playoff mix and a year early. Justin Fields could be a slot receiver. Yeah, I don't think so. Not at all. That kid's fragile. Sorry. And I agree with you. The kid is he's a very personable kid. He was a leader in the locker room, very good personality. I met him. He went to the school I work at. Very nice, very cordial. I think he was ingrained in the community and being part of Chicago, and he really loved being here. But at the end of the day, it's business. And if you're a Justin Fields fan, that's okay. But you have to be a Bears fan first. All right. If you're a Bears fan, you understand that we need to move on, because we hold on and we hold our players so hard, so tight. All right. And you can attest to this because you're a Cub fan and I'm a Sox fan, and we hold on to those prospects. Oh my God, wait till this guy comes up, and then they never pan out. They never pan out. And you're talking to the Sox fan, and I know my team is not panning out. Okay. I'm prepared for 100 losses. I am prepared. Okay. I'm not even going to opening day.
I'll go to one of those losses with you, bro. Like, don't worry.
I
the one thing that you do have me on is the food there and the beer selection. So I will just say that it is.
But it's okay. It's a good place to watch a game. It's a great place to watch a game. Unfortunately, the product, the product sucks. The product sucks. But it's just like when the Bulls sucked, right? You would go watch the other team whoop on the Bulls. You're like, I got cheap tickets to go see a Bulls game. I'm gonna go see Kobe. I'm gonna go see whoever, right? That's exactly what you're gonna have at the cell. So back onto the Bears. I really believe in Ryan Poles. I mean, he's made a numerous amount of moves with Brian Cowart, adding depth to the depth chart with another defensive lineman. Obviously, the Justin Fields trade that's pending a physical. Agreed to terms with Jake Martin on a 1-year deal, defensive end. We have Dante Pettis getting on a 1-year contract. He's going to be a special team guy, maybe fifth and sixth receiver. I really think they're going to add more receivers. Keenan Allen, obviously, is a big security blanket because he's at huge catching radius. So even if Caleb is a little wild between him and DJ Moore, they'll make it work. They'll adjust and they catch with their hands and not with their body, which was Mooney's problem. He would catch with his body.
Yeah, I still like. I mean, I think Darnell also, like, there was
I think he'll
times.
flourish over there. I
Yeah,
think
I
he'll
think
flourish
he'll be
there.
all right. I think he'll be all right. Like he'll get in the mix in Atlanta. Um, I think you'll see Cousins rely on him because he's. I feel like he was a guy that was always open. I mean, it never, like you said, sometimes it just never worked out, but he always found himself open. And I don't know what the fuck happened last season, man. I really don't. Was it Justin? Was it him?
Did they
I
fall
I
out?
did they fall out? What was the disconnect between them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Real quick, Kevo, I couldn't agree with you more. I think Justin landed in the perfect situation for himself. He's still a young quarterback. Right now, he's just not a good quarterback. So if if the Pittsburgh organization thinks that they can take Justin Fields and mold him, well, by all means, kudos to them. And good luck to Justin Fields. But right
And
now,
he's under Russell.
yeah.
And he was early in his career a very mobile quarterback that would run a lot. So you can say, hey, man, I took a lot of these hits and I'm no longer as mobile because I try to extend the play for a yard, whatever. You need to work smarter and not harder and make your receivers do the work or your running back do the work as your safety valve, your tight end. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to get more of the mental aspect from Russell Wilson and being the backup and watching. I think it's going to help him a lot better and open his mind to the game, whereas like right now he has no pressure, whereas in Chicago he was the messiah for the Bears and Hall has pressure to get the Bears into the next level. So I think it's the perfect situation for him, and I think by the Bears doing right by him, they did a really good job, and that's going to go further when free agents try to come here or want to leave or get traded. I think they're going to have that respect, because if you look at the rest of our teams, we don't have that that reputation, right? Like the White Sox are like, do not go to the White Sox. The Cubs are like, well, they don't spend a lot of money sometimes. They go back and forth. The Blackhawks, we know they're rebuilding, and hockey's hard to spend a lot of money in. But the Bears that have that GM that has a reputation of taking care of his players, even if they want to leave or if they have to make a tough decision, and sending them to a good place for them rather than making good business. I mean, personally, I would have been like, I'm taking the highest pick, because at the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah, it's a business. Like it's rough. Like I said, it was rough because we all were hyped for Justin Fields. We all wanted it to work out. We all wanted him to succeed, and it sucked that like you almost had to be like be combative these last couple months,
Oh my
and
God.
you almost like had to like really explain, like tear down Justin Fields. And, like you didn't have to tear down him as a human being,
No.
but you tearing down, like breaking down his game. It's like I like the guy, man. Like, I don't want to continue to be like, hey, he sucks. Like he's not, and not that he can't get better, but it's like right now it's just not working. It's not what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a very volatile time these past few months. I'm glad it's over. Uh, you know, looking forward, Caleb Williams at 1, right? Is that what you're
Oh,
thinking?
100%. I'm Team Caleb. Let's go.
Team Caleb. Okay, 100% Caleb. Number 9. Like I was mentioning before, we could trade it down. Do you think that if a playmaker like a uh, Neighbors or an Adunze or a Marvin Harrison Jr. are there, or even if a Joe Alt said, do you think the Bears take the playmaker and say, hey, you know what? To hell with trying to recoup some picks and add another top 100 player. Let's go ahead and get the blue chip and bring him in and see how it goes.
You know what? And we've said this on the show. This is a good problem to have. We had all this cap room. We have 2 picks in the first round. You could have traded everything and had the opportunity to get lots of blue chippers from here on out. The fact of the matter is that this team is ready to win. So if you can stack another blue chip wide receiver or another blue chip tight end, I think you go for that unless you're going to get King's ransom for that number 9 pick, which I don't think they would. I also think that you can probably trade 1 or 2 slots down if someone is thirsty enough to give you, swap a pick and give you another second round that you're going to have to, that you can recoup. Then let's do that. If I can still secure one of those 4 guys, yeah, you do that because you do what's best for the team, and the best of the team is accumulate so much talent that we have a problem with getting all these players on the field. That's the problem that you want to have, where you're like, man, we got 4 really good wide receivers. Fuck it, we're playing shotgun every period, every play. Okay, that's a good problem. If you have the offensive line that's going to support that, and you have a good running back that can block, okay, now we're running and gunning. This is Tecmo Bowl now. We're going to go all the way back and throw it all the way down. That's exactly what the kind of offense that we want, because we're so accustomed to the Bears football, and it's cold and it's raining and snowing, and we're going to run it down their throat and have a good defense. Ladies and gentlemen, that those days are gone. Everybody's putting up 35 points, and if we're not putting up 30 points at least every game with a good defense, we're not going to be winning. Mm-hmm. What do we get from that? Yeah, we just said it.
Yeah. No, we literally. I was just gonna get to it, both. we just got to it. See a 9 top 2 edge from Zach, or trade down. You can get an edge still.
Yeah.
You could, whether it be Latu, or if you're scared of the medicals, or you could get, if one of the, like I said, if people trade up to go get some of these playmakers, some of these quarterbacks, some of these positions might be able to fall for you, and you're, maybe maneuver a bit in the draft, move a little bit down, be able to grab the guys you want. Edge for me, and if you can find a defensive tackle, another defensive tackle, and I know people are like, whoa, we need playmakers. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can still, like I said, that's why I want to trade 9, because you can still go back and add to the draft, especially depending on where we trade down to. We're talking about a top 10 pick here. We're not talking about, trading number 17 back to 24. We're talking about trading 9 down, and hopefully, you'll be swapping a number 1. I talked about this, I believe, yesterday. We swapping ones, right? You'd add, I would want especially to add a number 2, a second round draft pick. And then you could maneuver a little bit with what you want and try to get a 3rd pick involved in it, depending on how far you're trading down and with whom. I think that's a solid idea for the Bears, because the draft is still deep at wide receiver. We could find another playmaker. You could find a defensive tackle a little later in the draft, but you need to add draft capital in order to do that. So, I get wanting to hold on to the blue chip and drafting them at 9, but with everything that's going on and how they're adding, I think adding the most talent you can right now is the best idea for you. I don't think anybody falling down to 9, unless it's, like I said, unless it's an alt. And right now, with any of the receivers, I don't see the point in drafting another one. I see a necessity in drafting an edge. I see a necessity in potentially going after, a receiver in the 2nd round and trying to find another interior defensive lineman. And yeah, I don't see why we need to, why we would think number 9 is untouchable.
It is not untouchable, but with Keenan Allen, he has an injury history. He's only here for 2 years. You want to secure the bag for a very long time.
Lunatic's going nuts. Fuck the defense.
Just another weapon with a Dunze, more protection with alt. Fuck the defense. What are we talking about? Defense. Hey, man, you can't argue with that. Like, yeah, we all want offense.
I get it. You'll get the offense, Lunatic. I'm telling you, you'll get a receiver later on if you move down. The what I wanted at the beginning, Jose, at the beginning of the free agency, and I've been saying it, is for the Bears to have, okay, you have Montez Sweat now. Go get
Mhm.
another, either go sign another,
Yeah,
name on
put a
the
bookend.
other side,
Yeah,
but you still have to draft an edge, right?
yeah.
You still have to add another young guy that's hungry, waiting in the wings in the rotation, because I think would that would be the epitome of what they want as a defense and as a defensive rotation with their linemen. So I still want them to go get a receiver, lunatic, but it's going to be a little bit later in the draft as opposed to the ninth pick. Jose, what do you got?
You know what? I see both sides of the coin, and I really do agree that if you solidify the defense, especially if you can have guys that can rotate it out, that puts less tread on the tire. Remember when we had Mac, right? He was playing all the time, and he was tired, and he was getting hurt because there was no one in that was as his high of a caliber to relieve him. It was such a big drop off from Mac to the next guy that he had to play for us to have playmakers. So to your mentality on what we should be doing, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And you can always find receivers in a second, third, fourth. There's lots of receivers on there that you can find. And since we do have like a stopgap with Keenan Allen, you can wait. You also have, I believe, or what is it, like 48, 47 million still left to spend?
I think you're 39.
39.
I think we're in the 30s, but upper 30s,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
So we still
we
got
have
money
money.
to spend.
We got money to blow. But the thing is that they're not going to blow the money. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, no,
that's
no, no.
Ryan Poles is conservative, but
Very frugal, yeah.
he's very frugal, but he's gonna go after the quality. Like he's going to go after talent, the quality talent, but he's not going to overpay for a guy with injury issues, with personality issues,
Yeah.
with things like that. And he maybe like he took a chance on Claypool, got it wrong, got him
I'm
out of
okay
here,
with it.
right? And got
He
him out
shot
of
a
here.
shot. I'm good with it.
It
He's gonna
that
take a
was
shot,
the
and yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
that was the only time I saw injury issues being a problem, or excuse me, personality issues being a problem with Ryan Poles' assessment. But he quickly assessed it and said, "I made a mistake," and changed it.
Right. Past administrations would have just kept living with it and just letting it go. What's value the pick change from number 9 example wide receiver, but I got neighbors all up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
You
you
trade
like
down
you
to
said,
make market value sense, huh?
I mean, I think he's going to do that because he needs to recoup picks. I really think he's going to trade down.
Yeah, it's a good problem. I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? Like obviously, you want people grow attached to certain players, especially now that we're seeing, watching all the tape, we're seeing all the highlights, we're talking about them over and over and over again. We're starting to pick our guys that we want. I just, from a team standpoint, with what they've done in the offseason, trading 9 is just, it makes more sense. Like we talked about trading 1, we get all these draft picks. Well, we could do that here at 9. You know what I'm saying? Now that
Mhm.
we realize that Caleb Williams is going to be traded at 1, why aren't we saying, hey, let's trade back at 9? I think it's because everybody still wants their favorite player in the draft and don't realize, like, hey, this is a team issue. We need another end. Getting another first round end would be awesome to pair with a Montez Sweat. You know, I wish that there was another dangerous end on the other side, but that's neither here nor there. So I think edge became the most important thing there. Dallas Turner, Travis Green said if Dallas Turner is there, you could go after Dallas Turner. Okay. I still think you could find an edge by trading down, like I said, to that no further than those middle rounds. You could get a top edge to one of the guys that you want.
Mhm. For a lot cheaper too.
Not the middle rounds, excuse me, the middle teens, not the middle rounds, the middle
Yeah,
teens,
so
excuse me.
first round middle teens, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're on a consensus on that. We're going to trade down, and he has been addressing a lot of the offensive holes. But Verse or Latu would be the guys. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either of those two guys. I really agree with you there. But I really think they're going to trade down to get more capital, so that way they have the ability to draft more talent, especially in the second round. You find a lot of talent in the second round. What do we have left? We have a first. We have two first. Do we have a third and a 6-7? Is that what we have left?
No, we have only 4 picks. We have the first. We have pick 75. Pick,
Which is third round.
yeah, which is the third round pick.
Yeah.
One, is it 119 or 123? I keep forgetting. Let me go ahead and check.
That's 6 and 7 because we traded the fifth for the swing tackle.
That's right.
And then we traded a fourth for Keenan Allen. So those two are gone, and the second pick was gone as well.
Okay, yeah. We have 1-9.
Yeah.
We have 1-9 and we have 1-9-75 and 122. 122.
Okay.
So those are the 4 picks that we have. Now, like I said, Caleb Williams goes number 1. 9, let's say we fall back to somewhere in the middle teens of the first round, still able to recoup a defensive tackle. You go back down, you have a second round draft pick, still able to recoup, somebody there, you know what I'm saying? Or if you want to go ahead and draft a receiver there's still Brian Thomas Jr. There's still other guys, if you trade to those middle teams and say, hey, we got Brian Thomas Jr. here, we could, we got our eye on somebody else at edge in the second round. If you recoup that second round pick, you could go, you could do that. And this is, and like I said, I'm just spitballing here, but there's just so many options that he has with trading 9, still adding talent and still getting the needs of the Chicago Bears met.
It's just at this time you have to trust Ryan Poles. Look at it. Look what he's done. You've got to put your trust in Ryan Poles, and if he continues on this trajectory, you got to put him up there with one of the best GMs, right? You got to put him up there with a Kraus if he can get us, if he can get us to a playoff successful playoff run year after year after year. You put him up there with a Kraus. You put him up there with a Theo, right? You got to put them up with those two guys, right? Or who was it McDonough that was the GM for the Blackhawks, right? So that's what we want. We want sustained success over and over. We don't want these pop-up championships or these fluke runs that we have. You don't want that. You want sustain. You want to be the Atlanta Braves. You want to be the Kansas City Chiefs. The New England Patriots. You want to be when the schedule comes out, be like, yeah, we'll be in the playoffs. Just book it now. That's what we want. That's what we want. And you know what? That's what I need.
Let's do it. That's what we want. That's what he needs. He's Big Z. Jose, bro, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up right here. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find the True Chicago Sports Fans podcast, where they can find you on social media and all that good stuff.
True Chicago Sports Fans. We have the actual page, Facebook page. We go live on Mondays right after Ivan does, which is great. And shout out from Utah. What's up, Angry? And you can find us on there every Monday at 7:15 to about 8:45. We're rolling live. So we talk about the Bears, the Blackhawks, the Bulls, the Sox, the Cubs. Well, not so much the Sox, unless they do something dumb again. We talk about that. So every Monday, and you can find us on YouTube. Same handle, and you can find me at Big Z _606 media on all my handles. And I also have a solo show called Impodsicated where I interview interesting people. You can find that at impodsicated.com or Impodsicated on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can find that there. So that's my plug. It was a great being on the show. Thank you, Ivan, for having me. It's been a blast. I love talking Bears. There's so much possibilities, and you know what? Bear down,
man. That's all it's about now. At this point, like I said, what was said. Let's move forward. It's a new day. It's a new era. Let's be happy about it with the Bears. Thanks, Big Z. I'll see you later. I'll hit you up. We'll definitely catch a Sox game. It might be a empty ballpark, but hey, we can just walk all the way down to the front row.
What are we complaining about?
Exactly.
$5 ticket, $5 hot dogs.
Tickets, $5 hot dogs. I remember that deal. $4. There was $4 tickets, $4 hot dogs.
I'm running with it,
dude. Hey, you know what? I don't mind. In this economy, give me the
Exactly.
cheap ticket. Give me the cheap ticket. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
All right, bro. Thanks, man.
All right, that was Big Z from the True Chicago Sports Fans podcast. What a great guy. I enjoyed talking to him. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, man, it was a wild couple months with Justin Fields being, kind of in limbo with the decision of the Chicago Bears being questioned day in and day out. Became a little stressful, became a little crazy. But you know what? At this point, I'm looking forward to what is next for the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is in sights, is in our sight. The Bears have loaded up. You still have more opportunity to load up in the draft. You still have time left in free agency. This is an exciting time, man. This is an exciting time. We should all be happy and be motivated to see what's coming this fall, because I really believe it can be a special time for the Chicago Bears. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm Ivan Vargas. It's been great talking to you. Before we get out of here, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. You'll be able to catch all the Draft Mob breakdowns. We had a Draft Mob breakdown yesterday. It was great. DDP, Shane, Coach O, and Big Steve Edwards. Big Steve will be having a show Mondays. It'll be after. Well, I'll work around. I'm thinking about moving a little bit closer to the afternoons and maybe doing some more pop-up shows. But I'll be everywhere. I'll be popping in and out. You'll see me, no doubt. But Big Steve Edwards will be having a show on Monday nights. Still haven't gotten the time back, but it'll be on Monday nights. Can't wait to see it. He'll have former, teammates coming on talking about the Bears. He'll have guests coming on talking about the Bears. So it should be, another great addition to the network with Big Steve Edwards and his show. Anyways, guys, I'm Ivan Vargas. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a good day. Hopefully there's some more Bears news because I'd love to talk about it. But if there's not, enjoy the night.